Okay, hello. I'm going to be showing how to format the spreadsheet that Google Forms gives you when you use it to make a common formative assessment. Obviously, you can use these same techniques on any spreadsheet. But when you give a form assessment, you get something like this, and it is going to be populated automatically by the results of students. And as students continue to do the work, what is this? You'll get more and more results coming in. So this is the CFA that I did with 1P, and it has all the teachers' students' results. And you can see that in the column with the teacher name, they're all mixed up, right? Because it's sorted right now by the timestamp. So the first thing that you would do is to sort the table by teacher. So it's a good idea to put the teacher's name as one of the questions in your form. So one of the questions should be who is your teacher, especially if you're going to be using the same form for all your classes. So then to do that, you just click on the letter of that column at the top, and then you click the little drop down window arrow and sort sheet A to Z. So now all the teachers' students are grouped by teacher. So then what you can do is we're going to make separate tabs for each teacher. So if I click on the little arrow down here, I can make a tab for Mr. Anaya, right? And so what I'm actually going to do is just do Anaya first. So the good thing about all of the stuff I'm going to do is that once you do it once, you can just duplicate it and then copy and paste the students that apply to those other teachers, and it'll have all the formatting and stuff done. So you only have to do it once. So if we come back over here, um, we can get all of Anaya's kids only, right? Scroll down and only get Anaya's results. And you copy, I always use Control C instead of right clicking because it's quicker. And then come back over here. I'm going to put it a little bit lower. Instead of putting it in A1, I'm going to put it in A4 so that we have a little space at the top because I like to put some tables at the top um, for some overview stuff. So I pasted everything here, and before I even move on, I think it's a good idea to click this button that says text wrapping and switch it to clip. That way all of the um, columns will clip the content. If you have like long answers that students could have chosen, um, sometimes it looks ugly. It bleeds past the line. So if you make it clip, then it'll contain everything. So there's that. Now I have Anaya's students here. The first thing I'm going to do is make a table that has the overall results. So I'm going to put the first one, total participants, right? And then in the next one, I'm going to put um, number proficient. And then I'm going to put percentage proficient. And then I'm going to put number not proficient. And then the percentage not proficient. So I've got this table. Before I even move on, what I'm going to do is resize these because these I don't like this is just like for preference. I like it to look like it fits the content. You see how participants in column A isn't looking that good, so I resize it. I think 115 is good. Okay, that's pretty good. So now I have my table up here, and I want to set it up so that even if more students complete the assignment, I don't have to come back and change the information here. So what I'm going to do is make a formula. The thing that most of what I'm doing now is based on is formulas, and it's kind of like low level computer coding, but it's a lot easier than like writing a program. You're just giving the spreadsheet instructions. So for the participants, the total participants, I wanted to count every one of these rows that has student data in it, right? So I don't really care what it counts as long as it counts once per kid. So if to write a formula in Excel or Sheets, you start with the equal sign. So if you put equals into a cell, it's going to expect a formula. So there's some stuff that I had to look up and learn this. I taught this stuff to myself, but I'll just show you that if you write count if, we're going to be telling this cell to count one if the following is true. And it gets a little bit in the weeds here. I'm going to tell it count if from E4. So I just picked the column with the teacher name from there, and then a colon means that it's like a dash. It's going from E4 through what? Through E. So the whole rest of the column. So if between E4 and E we have, and the comma is kind of like acting as an equal sign right now. If it's saying that if within E4 through E there is the following, and I'm going to put quotation mark and a star and close the quote, that means if there's anything. So if there's anything between E4 and E, count once. So now there's 100, and we know that this is correct because there's 103 here, and there's, it starts on A4. So there are 100 rows with information in the E column, and that's because it says Anaya in there. So that sets that up. Now I want to have it set up to do the number proficient automatically too. So how do I do that? I start with the equal sign, and I tell it again, you're going to count if, and then I do a parentheses between C4 and the rest of the C column, if in there, comma, we have another quotation mark, if it's greater or equal to whatever you decided with your teams was proficiency. So on this assessment, a 4 or more is proficient. So I'm telling it count if between C4 and the rest of the C column, whatever is in there is, and it's in quotes because it's reading it, if whatever's in there is greater than or equal to 4, it's going to count that once. So now we know there's 73 proficient kids. And then the rest I can do without having to reference the columns anymore because that's all I need really. You'll see. What's the percentage proficient? I could just hit equals, and then I could tell it whatever is in this cell, B2, divided by whatever is in this cell, A2, is my answer. And if I convert that to percent, that's 73%. To find the not proficient, we could do a simple formula too. Whatever's in this cell, the total students, minus whatever's in this cell, the number proficient, will give me the not proficient, right? And then again, equals this not proficient number divided by the total number of students. Whoops. Again, this one divided by that one is 0.7, and we could convert that to a percentage. So now the reason I do it with formulas is because if I ended up adding another kid, there would be another Anaya here, and that would automatically increase the participants to 101, and it would automatically um, make the rest of the table true. So um, it didn't work here because I didn't put a new student. I just put Anaya. So there's nothing in column C for it to check, so it doesn't know if it's proficient or not. But it's fine. because if you did copy paste another student, for example, I will copy this student and paste it again, then we'll see that there's now 74 proficient. That changes the percentages. The number not proficient is still the same, but the percentage changes. So all the math is done for you. So I'm going to stop right here. That's just getting from the original form, taking one teacher over, getting their students there, and setting up this first table. I do like to add borders around it. Um, I like the heavy border, and then you can also do stuff like uh, alternatingly highlight the column so that it looks a little bit more readable. You can highlight different, like I highlighted this and then this by holding control. So I dragged over this, held control, dragged over that, and then I could select all those cells. Um, so that is that. I'm going to stop this video and then see the next step in a separate video.